Hi, today we are going to be making a Paracord keychain. I've seen these on sale for up to £15 and they're not worth the money, but I can show you how to make them. You'll need just under 4 foot of string, a Lego head, a lighter and a screwdriver. So you just heat up the screwdriver. You can drill it. I find it easier to drill it, but I thought I'd try it without any power tools. Just keep heating it up and then try and force it through. You may need a file just to sand the hole down just so it's smooth. Poor little guy, look at his face, he's not enjoying this. Once you've got the hole in the head, that sounds stupid, just get a bit of string, or I've used floss here. Gonna use that to ease the bigger string through it. So you take your large string, fold it in half, thread the other string through that, and then you're just going to be pulling it through the bottom of the Lego head. You will find quite a bit of resistance, but once the initial bit's gone through, it will just slide straight through. If not, you may need to open the hole up a little bit more. He's still not happy. You want to leave about 2 inches for the loop so you can loop it through keyrings and zippers and stuff. Now on to the tricky part, which is a knot. All you have to do is loop the right one underneath the left one, and then the left string goes under and then over and then through the loop that you made at the start as seen here, and then just pull it tight. I think it's fairly important to get these knots as tight as you possibly can, just so they don't come loose. Just give it a little pull and adjust the head, and that's the shoulder sorted. Next we will be getting the shorter piece of rope, which I didn't picture earlier on because I forgot. For the arms, you just pulling that right up to the top. Doesn't really matter how you position it because you can change it after, but we're going to be doing 3 more of the knot that we did in the first one. I'm trying to do this just on the table so you can see exactly what I'm doing, because I realised you couldn't see that well on the first attempt. So again, you're making a loop with the right hand side and just going under and then under the next bit, and then with the left hand side you're going under, over and then through the loop that you made in the first knot. And then you just tighten it up, trying to get as much friction onto the arm string as you can, trying to hide as much of that as you can. We will be repeating this 2 more times, so he has a body consisting of 3 knots. We've sped this up because you can just rewind to rewatch how you do the knots on the previous ones. With each knot, just make sure it's tight and push it up. You can do this by pulling various areas of the knot to slide it a bit higher up. And once you're happy with the tightness of your knots, it'll be moving on to making the hands and feet of the little man. It's just a simple knot. You can tie it wherever you like for the first one, because you can still slide the string back and forth a bit. I made mine just over 1 inch because I wanted his arms to be a little bit floppy, so you weren't just stuck in surprise all the time. And repeat the process on the next arm. Just basic knot. If done right, it kind of makes a hand shape because you've got like a little thumb and then fist, which I didn't realise until after I looked at it at the end. And just make sure the knot's nice and tight. And now for the legs. So again, it's down to your preference. I wanted them to be fairly long, so they're just floppy all over the place. Just make a note of where you've done this knot, as you're going to have to mirror it on the other leg, otherwise he's going to have 2 different length legs. And then we're repeating the same on the other side. If you're particular about the knots, you can reverse the knot so it looks like the feet are pointing out the way, like in opposite directions. Once you're happy with all the knots and they're all nice and tight, then you're just trimming the excess off fairly close to the knot, not right at the knot, because we're going to need to melt them down a bit. So using the lighter, you just want to flick the flame over it. It will singe it first, but then it sort of melts into like a plasticky finish. And I just use the size of the lighter just to roll it around to make it flush. And repeat it for the next 3 knots. And that'll be you pretty much done. If you want to add accessories like hats or hair, you just drill a hole through the top and repeat the same thing as you did for the head. Accessories on the hands, you'd probably have to tie the knot around the actual hand first before melting it. Maybe a bit of super glue just to hold it in place. And there you have it. He's a much happier little chappy now that he's got a body. And you can put it on your bags or your keyrings or anything. If you like this, hit like and subscribe and show me if you've made one yourself. Bye.
Make me you should, buy me you should not.